What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update to DDDs. Now this is actually going to be a very minimal update for the upcoming format, but the idea is that there is one brand new card that I think some players might have forgotten about that we actually received that help out DDDs as well as its own deck as well. So I'm going to take you through the profile, show you exactly what we've got, explain why we've got it. I'm not going to go into a huge amounts of detail just because we would have gone through DDDs exactly like this time and time again, but it's just to highlight the new card and how it actually helps you with the deck. So we're going to start off with triple, of course, DD Swirl Slime. And then of course we've got the one DD Lamia, followed up by the one Necro Slime, and then the one double D Vice Typhoon. Now before I show you the next kind of card, which is like your main pendulum starters and the main starters of the deck, I'll show you the card that actually helps us get into it. So previously people were playing the Period Rizzy map, which had to be activated at the start of main phase 1 and then cost you half your life points. Now what you can actually utilize is Nightmare Throne with a Terraformist. You now have 4 copies rather than 3. Yes, on the flip side to this, Nightmare Throne is like £25 a copy, whereas Period Rizzy map is like £1. However, if you do get lucky enough to pull Nightmare Throne and you are a DDD player, don't throw it away. Just kind of stop and think and go, hang on a minute. This card actually helps me get into either my Copernicus or of course my Kepler without me needing to burn my own life points away. So I'll read out Nightmare Throne, then I'll show you the rest of the deck. So with Nightmare Throne, when it is activated, you get to take a Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense and add it from the deck to the hand. That is pretty much all you really care about, is the fact that it lets you do that, and the fact you can play Terraforming gives you that 4th copy, so it's a little bit more consistent. If you wanted to spice in a very small Yugioh engine, which does kind of contradict with some of the DDD plays, you could do, but for now we've just kind of gone with the pure version and tried to upgrade where at all possible. So carrying on with the rest of the deck, again, pretty staple and standard from this point on. So 3 Kepler along with 3 Copernicus, you now just have even more consistency to get to it. And if you did want to play something like Pot of Prosperity, you could get even more consistency. Because previously, if you activate Pot of Prosperity and revealed Period Rizzy map, you couldn't use it. But if you activate and reveal a Nightmare Throne, you can still activate it. And that then still counts as the other copy that you might be digging for when you're trying to go for a Copernicus or, of course, a Kepler. Then, of course, we are playing triple double D Griffin alongside double Oblivion King Ragnarok, 1 Orpheus, 1 0 King Rage, and then, of course, the 1 Requiem. So in this build, you can actually just hard out Pendulum Summon most of your hand if you really, really want to. But with the Nightmare Throne edition, that does give you a bit more ability to kind of hold back some of your resource while also trying to dig through as much as you want to, because basically your Throne will then become another card you need to. On top of that, you could very easily play Chicken Game. You could also play Set Rotation, because DDDs do have their own field spell themselves in the form of the Dark Contract with Patent License. Now, obviously, if you wanted to use this with Set Rotation, give your opponent a Nightmare Throne, you could do, but it just gives you, you don't really need that consistency factor of it. The only benefit of using Set Rotation to give your opponent a field spell, even if it is your Dark Contract, would be the pure fact that you give them a card, meaning you don't need to worry about evenly matched, and you don't need to worry about something like a Imperm. There you go. I was thinking Lightning Storm, but I was like, no, Lightning Storm definitely goes through because it's a set card. Either way, on top of that as well, is if you don't activate your field spell, even if they do activate the Dark Contract, they then won't be able to still activate another field spell because you'd still remain with one of yours face down. So it can be a bit of a nice little lockout. And then, of course, you've got triple Dark Gate. So, of course, this will obviously search out your Copernicus and your Kepler as well. But, again, you're just already playing more copies. You're now playing, like, 7 copies that can search you into the cards you might need. Not to mention, it now allows you to actually save this to be searching out stuff like your Swirl Slimes, your Necros, and everything else like that. And then, of course, we've got the 1 Dark Contract with the Swamp King, followed up the 1 triple D Headhunt. For our draw card, we have got Allure of Darkness, but you can very easily play Pot of Prosperity if you want to, entirely up to you. Followed up by the 1 for 1, and then hand traps of your choosing. I've gone with Nibiru, Imperm, and then a Call by the Grave in the middle, but you can very easily play stuff like Troll Tactic Talents. You can also play Ash Blossoms, Ghost Ogres, whatever is most effective for the format. One thing you do need to remember about DDDs is they are very, very tight on both main deck space and extra deck space. So when you're trying to put cards in here, you need them to be the most impactful possible. So if your local environment is like Tempai everywhere, then maybe you won't be going for something like Nibiru because it's going to be less effective. You're probably going to be going something a little bit along the lines of Ghost Ogres and Ashes in order to kind of stop the field spell resolving, and then meaning that they're going to struggle a little bit more. Moving on to the extra deck, again, very staple on this one. So double triple D, Divisor, King, Deuce Machina, followed up by the 1 Kali-Yuga, 1 High Wave King, Mark Hitzman Tell, and then Wave King Caesar. followed up by 2 Gilgamesh. You can play 3 if you want to. The 1 Oracle King Dark, you don't have to play this. Again, you have a little bit of flex spots, but the issue is that when you're going through most of your DDD combos, especially with your Gilgamesh, you're going to ultimately end up locking yourself into DDDs. So you kind of just want to focus and make it as pure DDD as possible, or you're going to be playing 2 cards that are going to be such a big game changer that you don't mind utilizing them. You can very easily utilize SP Little Knight if you wanted to, which can be quite cool because it will banish and leave the board. So that's something you can definitely add into the spot of the King Dark as well. 1 Siegfried, and then 2 of the original Gilgamesh, and then 1 final High Flame King, followed up by a Zeus and a Typhon. You're probably going to be better off with the Typhon, and then this can become SP Little Knight. It really is up to you on the flexibility of what you want to change and what you have access to. I wouldn't say that these are absolutely mandatory to play. You can still play DDDs on a budget if that's what you're trying to do, and that's where Piri-Rizimap will come in place of the Nightmare Throne. But I thought I would update this and kind of highlight to everyone out there that is playing DDDs, especially when there hasn't been an updated DDD profile on not just my channel but in general for a long time that I could see on the channel, like at least 3 months. I thought it'd be definitely worth doing an update and then also showing to you and highlighting to you, hey, Nightmare Throne's just come out, don't forget about it, go pick it up if you can, and if you do have a friend that has them or they want to get rid of them cheaply or anything like that, now's the time to swoop for them, because then it kind of gives you that ability to play this in any deck that can utilize Fiends with 0/0, which I can't imagine Konami stopping doing something like that going forward. I think we're always going to be seeing 0/0 Fiends pop up every now and then, so you never know when Throne might absolutely rocket through the roof, even further than it currently is on the hype as the anti-meta to Tenpai. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.